So welcome back to Desert Smoke Reviews. I'm Monty,
Wyatt.
Justin?
and tonight we're going to review the Ashton Cabinet Pyramid. It's 6.5 by 52, I believe it is. Nice pyramid made by Ashton. From their higher end line, the cabinet line is significantly more expensive than just the plain Connecticut cigars that they make. They say in their literature that the filler is a blend of Dominican long fillers that are all aged at least 4 to 5 years. The wrapper on this particular cigar, on the cabinet line, is a Connecticut that they say is aged a year longer than their regular Connecticut cigars. I'm not sure if that means if it's aged a total of 13 months or 18 months or what. They just say a year longer. So,
Yeah, no, it's a beautiful Connecticut. It's very, very fine veins. Seams are done well. The aroma is wonderful. It's like a sweet tobacco to me. Very, very nice. And then the foot, I get a nice little bit of hay and sweet tobacco. Just overall, very, very nice looking stick. What?
Yeah, beautiful looking stick. You know, this is going to sound like blasphemy to a lot of cigar guys, but Ashton's really hit or miss with me. But I've got a lot of high hopes for this Ashton. I'm really hoping they pan out. Yeah, the construction is beautiful. I mean, really, really smooth wrapper. Seams they just blend in wonderfully. They're really hardly even visible. Got a couple of stems, but I mean, great presentation. And on the aromas, yeah, on the wrapper, it's a real sweet tobacco and a little bit of hay. But the foot for me, man, that's all like a real creamy peanut butter. I mean, just when you first open up the jar, I mean, it's really, really good. And I hope we get that as a taste. Let's light up, see what we think.
Power of persuasion, I know. Smell them off the foot.
Yeah.
or even the power of suggestion.
Yeah, that probably fit a little better.
Oh boy. Nice start for me. There's a little bit of it's more of a spice and less of a pepper kind of floating around there in the finish. And I don't really get that peanut butter, but there's a lot of that sweet tobacco. You know, there is a little bit of like a creamy peanut butter type of taste on the finish. It doesn't coat your mouth like peanut butter does, but it's very, very good. Very, very sweet in the finish.
Yeah, very nice sweet tobacco in the finish. Yeah. See, I would say a little bit of pepper kind of sits on the tongue, like a nice light pepper. Very nice. A little bit of maybe a dry earth, very slight. Very nice. Fun.
You know, I see where both these guys are coming from on this cigar, because I've smoked literally probably hundreds of this cigar. It's probably the one cigar I've smoked the most of, and I can see where that peanut butter, that nut, might come in. I get a little bit of that, and maybe just a little bit of spice, and definitely sweetness, but never what I would never call this any sort of pepper. Just a little bit of spice on the tongue, like Justin mentioned.
Yeah, it's very nice. Very light, almost very refreshing for in a cigar. It's very nice. Let's get into the first third. See how it goes.
Well, welcome back. We're about a good 10 minutes into this cigar so far. Thought we'd come back with some thoughts. Mine is burning pretty well so far. It's got a little bit off, but nothing worth correcting with a torch. I still have a nice, real firm white ash. The construction so far has just been great. I'm not getting much spice at all, really. Just some nice hay and good sweetness to it. Something that Wyatt alluded to earlier is sometimes Ashton cigars are hit or miss, and I'll agree with that. I'm a big Ashton guy, and I've smoked a ton of them, and there's definitely been some misses in there. I think there's less misses on average in the cabinet line and the Maduro line versus some of the others. But I'm very happy with how this cigar is burning and the flavor. It's a nice, mild to almost medium, but nothing too strong.
Yeah, it's more on the mild side to me, but there's really enough taste in there to make me want to go back to this cigar. So it's definitely a hit for me so far. I really enjoy it. I'm still getting a lot of that real creamy peanut butter type of taste in the finish. And then there's a little bit of spice, but it's dwindling off, and I'd imagine it's going to be long gone by the time I get halfway. But great construction, real firm white ash. I mean, it's dropping off really well. I've just been really impressed with this ash line. I mean, it's definitely reinvigorating my interest in Ashton cigars. And I haven't really explored the cabinet line, but this definitely makes me want to.
Yeah, it's very nice cigar. It's on the mild to medium side in body for me, but definitely mild on the strength. One construction issue, the wrapper kind of wants to fill up here for me a little bit, but it shouldn't be a problem. I licked it and it will hold down pretty good. Flavors, I do pick up a hay, like a cured alfalfa hay. It's very nice. It's got sweetness to it that I really enjoy. It's that's the main finish flavor for me. I still do pick up a bit of spice, and I agree, it's not really a pepper. I guess more of a baker's spice, but it's very faint, and I agree with White. It's probably going to die off here pretty soon. But overall, an excellent cigar. Really, really enjoying it. But let's get into the second, third, and approach the midpoint. See how it goes. Well, welcome back. We're about halfway on this Ashton Cabinet Pyramid, and so far, excellent smoke. No real flavor changes for me. It's still about a mild to medium in body, about a mild in strength. No real flavor changes. Still performing exceptionally well. That one little area that I mentioned before that kind of filled up on the wrapper is going to hold out just fine. I have no complaints. Yeah, it's keeping par for the course, but I really don't want it to change. It's a very pleasant cigar. Why?
Yeah, I'm really enjoying this so far. I've been really impressed too with the construction of this cigar. I mean, really everything about the cigar so far. I put it down for a couple of minutes and ran around, did a couple things, and picked it right back up, and we're still smoking. So. But yeah, I mean, no real flavor changes, and I'm not really expecting any, aside from that spice going out. I've just had a real smooth, creamy peanut butter the whole way through. I get a little bit of hay, but that's not really the predominant flavor for me, but really, really good cigar.
I agree. Mine's been burning great. The burns have stayed really nice the whole way through. No construction issues whatsoever. No cracks, no peels, nothing. To me, it has just a nice, clean finish. I don't feel like I'm smoking an ashtray every time I take a puff off the cigar. The ash has stayed true. As far as flavors, it's a very short finish. To me, there's a definite sweetness there. Not a syrupy sweet, but almost like a light caramel, maybe, and a little bit of that nuttiness. Excuse me. But I really like this cigar.
Well, let's get into the final third and see if we get any changes.
Well, welcome back. We're pretty much at the end point of this cigar. Wyatt smoked his down a lot faster than Justin and I did, but overall, to me, it's typical Ashton cabinet quality. I've been really happy with it. The burn has been really good. The construction stayed true. A lot of good flavors in this cigar for me. The hay, the sweetness, that caramel sweetness I talked about earlier. Even a little bit of that peanut, almost a peanut butter type flavor that Wyatt talked about. This is a mild cigar, but sometimes on these the flavor gets almost towards the medium side of things. But I still think this is a really good cigar that anybody could smoke. I think it would be just fine in the morning or just fine late at night, either one for me. I'm biased because I really like this cigar. Overall, I'm going to give it a 9.5.
Yeah, earlier I said Ashton's a really hit or miss. That's my take on Ashton's at least, but this one's definitely a hit. We're smoking this at the end of the day, and this is one of those few Connecticut's that I could really say kept me interested enough to be a really good end of your day type of cigar. Is it complex? No, but the flavors really do keep your interest, and we've been talking here. But my focus has always been kind of drawn back to the cigar because I'll think, that flavor's there, whatever is still going on. Like Monty said, I smoke mine down a lot faster, and I'm probably going to nub this thing out because it's very, very good. It's a very, very good Connecticut. I could see this pairing well with really anything. I mean, we're doing coffee. We almost always do coffee, but you could smoke this just about anything, and it would make. I think it would probably enhance those flavors better. I'd have to agree with the 9.5. I mean, for a Connecticut and for an Ashton, two things that I'm not too huge a fan of. I've been really, really impressed with this cigar. Something I definitely smoke again, and makes me want to try out all the new, or all the cabinet selection.
I agree. This is a wonderful, wonderful little stick. Never a whole lot of complexity, but the flavors, kept far from the course, but they're good flavors. A lot of that natural sweet tobacco, nice hay note. Near the end, I started to pick up that kind of peanut butter or creamy peanut flavor that Wyatt would talk about, and just overall very nice. It was always around a mild to medium in body, and always mild in strength. And I appreciate when the strength's lower than the flavor, because with me, cigars, it's all about the flavor. Performed really well. The one little construction issue, as I said, it burned right through without any problems. This is definitely a good cigar. I can see this any time of day, morning, noon, or night. This is a great all-around cigar. I definitely recommend you have some of these rolling around in your humidor. Just really, really nice. I would go a little bit lower, but not much. I'd give it a solid 9. I really enjoy it. I just would like to see a little bit more of a full medium or full, bump those flavors up a little bit. But that's my only complaint, and I mean, it just performed excellent. I definitely recommend it. But in conclusion, if you like our videos, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe. We greatly appreciate it. But until next time, smoke 'em if you got 'em.